Caval, please step forward. What's your topic?
Hey man, I'm just gonna have some fun tonight. The topic is gonna be NXT.
Go!
So I'm gonna flip it. Alright, behind every great man is a great woman. The problem for them is, I got two of them. You supposed to be chosen, huh? The pick of the litter. Except, I'm gonna be the hottest trending topic running Twitter. Go get it, boy, it's sick. I'm gonna go far because what I do is leaving people standing in awe. Showtime, you're too kind. Riley, just whine. And Joe, Michael, you'll be a star in no time. But Husky's breaking molds and breaking all labels. But what he breaks best are called buffet tables.
JC's got nothing to worry about.
So go ahead, call me rookie. Find out what I'm packing, because I'm the only reason for some total non-stop action.
Well, by the way, that was stupid. And number two, he may be packing after that performance.
Good morning, welcome to John and Ant Show. John here.
This is Ant.
Whoa, he's back! Rob Mysterio.
Yes, Roberto Mastrio.
Rob Mastrio.
Yes.
Welcome back there, Rob Mysterio.
No problemo.
That was a promo for actually a rap from Caval, if you guys remember him from NXT.
See.
Yeah. Where did he go after that?
Not to total non-stop action. Which is where everyone thought he'd end up, but, so far nothing.
Unemployment line, because he's gone nowhere.
He's not even back in, he hasn't gone to Ring of
I don't
Honor
think he's gone
anything?
to ROH yet. I think he's still doing indie stuff.
Okay.
So, we had Main Event yesterday.
We did have Main Event.
And, Rob Mysterio.
Rob Mastrio.
What? Who is this? This guy's back again? Get up. Sure. You go to sleep.
We're having,
He's choking him out.
What's going on?
Okay. Alright. Well, he's out.
Get this guy out of here.
Wow.
Alright.
What just
You
happened?
guys just having this guy show up
Hey.
on the show?
He's much more entertaining. I kind of like this guy.
Well, that's because you're a dope.
Dog. NXT did have
Heard all that commotion.
NXT.
Main Event happened yesterday.
It did. Three matches.
You sure NXT didn't happen yesterday as well?
No, it happens on Thursdays.
It should be uploaded. I think on Hulu it airs on Wednesdays.
Okay.
But I'm certainly not going to pay for Hulu when I'm going to watch one show.
Right.
But I do catch it usually today.
Okay.
Won't have a review on it.
So a Main Event this week far better than last week's Main Event. So as you guys remember, I call last week's Main Event the worst in its history. Only one match.
Disappointing.
And that match, I believe, featured The Miz.
Nobody beats The Miz.
That's sucking.
Well, Barrett beat him.
Yeah.
He
With
did.
Barra.
Well, he beat him at
He beat him when it didn't matter to me anymore.
Yeah. For the
Should have
title.
been at Mania.
But we had a pretty interesting opening match. We had The Shield competing for the first time in an official match on Main Event against Tons of Funk and Kofi Kingston. Alright, so Kofi Kingston just thrown into the mix there. Again, longer than the usual matches featuring any of these guys.
Yep.
I would say, I don't want to say 10 minutes, but maybe it was 10 minutes, I guess.
It was a good length.
Uh-huh.
It was a good length for a 6-man tag match.
Right. The crowd, nothing special.
Nope.
As I predicted,
Of course.
it would go back because most of the...
Did you guys address that though about the crowd?
Bits
It's
and
like a
pieces of
one-time
it.
occurrence.
Bits and pieces of it, yeah.
It's not happening again.
Because like I said, it's the one Raw where you do have a lot of... it's the one show of the year where you do have a lot of international people in the crowd. Much more rowdy than the usual U.S. crowds. Because they don't get to see it as often as we do.
And they have nothing to lose, quite frankly.
Right.
I said that.
Right. So, of course, they're going to be much more rowdy than the usual crowd. Yeah, basically. It's funny because you have all year, Smarks can do these chants. They don't do them.
Nope.
But then, when it happens, they try and take credit for it. Yeah, that's nice
one,
try.
Especially one in particular.
Yeah,
That I know,
nice
that
try.
we know.
Exactly.
Taking credit.
So, go figure. But yeah, I mean, the Smarks could have shown up here. They didn't. They didn't show any interesting chance. But again, it's just WWE Main Event at the moment.
Yeah.
They will try and do stuff on SmackDown. It will be interesting to see how that comes off on TV.
I heard it didn't come off that well.
I've heard the same thing. But back to the match. Not bad.
No.
Not bad. I always do like seeing Shield in action.
Yep.
It's always interesting to see. Seth Rollins, as usual, when it's the turn for the face to be dominating the match,
He's the Darren Young.
Seth Rollins is the one taking the beating. But they turned things around on Sweet Tea.
Yeah.
And they for the rest of the match it was them taking him out. But he did rebound. I love
He got that hot tag.
He did get the hot tag. Kofi's always very energetic in the ring. Just a good match. Everybody in the match did what you'd expect them to do. Brodus Clay actually seemed to have the least time in the ring, right?
Yeah, at one point, and I guess I didn't notice it, he just disappeared.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what even happened to him, but he was gone.
I do remember seeing a headbutt on Seth Rollins, of course. Eventually, the Shield did pick up the win. I think they pinned Kofi Kingston.
Of course, yep. It was interesting because I was watching with somebody and going over the roles that each person pretty much plays. Going over the terminology that we use, because that's the way I say it when I'm watching anything. Calling Seth Rollins the Darren Young of the group, even though they're still undefeated. He's the Darren Young, and initially I would have loved for that to have been Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Because I just think that would be hilarious. He's the biggest guy.
The biggest guy, and he keeps
arguably
losing,
the biggest guy, and he would be the one to eat it instead of Seth Rollins being, I guess, the smallest guy, the one that can sell.
Yeah.
You have the crazy man, Dean Ambrose. You have the muscle, Roman Reigns. It's left on Seth Rollins to be the Darren Young.
Yeah.
And Kofi Kingston, he's the mid-card jobber. If you put him against, Cesaro, he's going to lose. Barrett, he'll probably lose.
Well,
you put him against Primo.
Wait a minute.
He has beaten him.
He will.
He has beaten him.
Unfortunately.
But he's also lost to him. But you put him against Primo or somebody like that, he's going to win. He's got it.
Yeah, he's in a spot where he's important enough to win over some people.
Yeah.
He's not like Zack Ryder, who just loses to everybody.
Yeah.
But it is even more interesting because our main event and SmackDown not taped the same day.
As far as to my understanding,
It's the same
everything
crowd,
is
right?
taped on the same day.
Right.
With main event, Superstars, Saturday Morning Slam, and SmackDown.
Okay.
It seems to me that they're all taped on the same
And
day.
it seems to me that it's the same crowd that's there for main event and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Right? So basically the crowd saw Kofi Kingston lose to the Shield, get pinned by Seth Rollins because he lost because of the flying knee. And then later on in the night, beat Antonio Cesaro. Okay, so anyway, the Shield won the match.
It's weird what they're doing with that whole storyline. Just anything regarding
if you want to call
Cesaro.
it a storyline.
Well, anything regarding Cesaro, yeah.
It's sad. We discussed it yesterday.
It's such a weird thing.
So we did have the Shield win, and then after the match, triple powerbomb both Sweet Tea and Brodus Clay.
Yep.
Nice.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't want to be triple powerbombed by them either.
Nope.
Yeah, so I agree with.
Well, you know what? I haven't seen SmackDown, obviously, but it's not the worst for Kofi to pin Cesaro.
No, it's
because you need somebody for him to go up against, maybe in a title match, just have him defend, even though I presume he would win.
I just didn't think it would be Kofi of all people. I was leaning more towards.
You need that guy that can lose,
right?
Legitimately lose, and that's Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying.
I also don't understand why they've given Seth Rollins the diving flying knee. He's had plenty of other finishers to use. Just on NXT, he had the Skywalker. I don't know how to really describe that finisher.
Well, you know what? People are listening to this on YouTube. Just type in. What was it? What was the move called?
Apparently, it's called the Skywalker.
The Skywalker.
Which is an interesting name.
And type in Seth Rollins, or would he go by his other name?
It would be Seth Rollins, I guess, because I've seen him as Seth Rollins do it.
All right. So just type in Seth Rollins Skywalker. You'll see it. I actually will take a look right now.
And he's actually had another finisher that he hasn't been using. It's sort of like a stomp,
No, he used it in ROH.
To the what was it called in Ring of Honor?
Tyler Black?
Yeah.
Well, the move I'm talking about?
Oh, the move you're talking about.
He used to stomp. I forgot what. Give me a second.
Yeah, like the guys kneeled over and he'd run toward him, stomp on his back, so his face would hit the ground. I can't remember. And I never do these things justice describing things, but those are both moves he could use instead of this diving knee.
Okay. I see what you're saying. All right. So I am taking a look at. I just saw the Skywalker.
Yeah.
I saw him do it to Big E Langston.
Yeah, that move.
It's essentially.
Is it the blackout?
Picture an RKO, but rather than just bringing him down, he goes the opposite way. He goes over the
flips
opponent.
back over him.
Yeah.
And brings him down.
It's like it's turning an RKO into like a neck breaker by instead of just making it into a stunner, just jumping over the guy and bringing him down from the back. Yeah. It is kind of hard to describe, but I mean he could easily use that.
It works on anybody because there's no lifting of any sort.
Yeah.
It works on absolutely anybody. It might the blackout might not work if you're going against a bigger guy because it's sort of I never really liked the finisher.
Okay.
But the Skywalker is much better. The diving knee, I don't care for that one either.
Okay. I guess what they're trying to just do is how did I put this? Just give each member of the Shield a type of a different category. Like it seems like Dean Ambrose would be more the Roman Reigns is the powerhouse of the group.
Obviously.
And then you have Seth Rollins, who I guess they're trying to establish as somewhat of a high flyer or whatever.
Yeah.
And they gave him that move, so he could. I mean, it looks good. He nails it every time.
What's interesting though is they all seem to have finishers except for Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, that's another thing that I noticed.
Well, it'll be interesting when he does become a singles wrestler. What his finisher is.
What are you talking about? Shield's gonna be around forever.
I wish it will be. It's a cool stable to be around right now. But
right now, yeah.
It's different. It's different. I like it. And again,
they haven't dropped the ball on them.
One of the things I've said that I like a lot is their attire. It's different.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
it's funny because usually what I expected is okay, so they show up like that, but then when they have the match, they're gonna come out in like generic tights or whatever. But no, they keep wrestling in their gear.
Yep.
And I like that. So
it's gonna be interesting when the Shield ends.
Well, according to Dean Ambrose, he does have finishing moves.
No, well, I'm sure he has, but as a part of the Shield, as part of the main roster, he hasn't done. Yeah. He hasn't really done anything.
No, he's been the he's been the talker.
Yeah.
He's had his spots in matches, but as of right now, I don't recall him hitting a finisher and ending the match. I do remember he was going to take a shell shock. Roman Reigns hit the spear, and then Dean Ambrose got the pin.
But that also happened with Seth Rollins, I think.
Yeah. I believe Dean Ambrose was in the Walls of Jericho. Seth Rollins hit the running knee. And again, Dean Ambrose got the pin. And you're right. That happened to Seth Rollins once as well.
Yeah.
That was actually the one in the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That was actually the one in the pay-per-view. So.
It's going to be interesting when the Shield's over, how hard they're going to drop the ball on it. Because it seems like they can never just finish off something right in regards to a faction.
It seems like they won't.
Yeah.
I feel like the first loss, or however many losses, they're going to pin the blame on each other, and you're going to have the generic, I love the word now, the generic breakup of a faction where they can't get along. And it seems like that could be the case because as of right now, they've yet to lose. We don't know how they would react as a team to a loss, at least not yet. So far, they're very cohesive, work really well together. Nobody's been able to beat them. And as to what John was saying the other day, they could possibly, they're undefeated, so maybe a title is in their near future.
Maybe. And have
they
the
will
Freebird rule?
Yeah.
Where they can each defend the title?
Yeah. And they each could start,
Didn't they do
and then
that
they could start immediately with Team Hell No.
Yeah.
So.
What do you mean?
They're already
faction once already. where they had the Freebird rule.
I'm
Maybe it was in
saying.
TNA.
They've
the
been
Fabulous Freebirds were the first ones to do it.
yeah.
Well,
That's why it's called the Freebird rule. The whole group,
No, I
as a
understand
group, can
that.
defend the titles.
But I thought they did that with another group already in WWE.
Yeah,
Spirit Squad and
There we go.
and Nexus. Nexus at one point did the same thing.
Did they?
thought so.
I always remember it being
Yeah.
just
David
Justin
Otunga
Gabriel
and Justin. Those are the two, right?
Well, David Otunga held the titles, I think, twice.
Okay.
But he also held it with Michael McGillicuddy.
Okay, I see what you're
Heath
saying.
Slater held it with Justin Gabriel a number of times, 4 times, I think.
Did she do this with the 3MB?
But they can't because they job.
Yes.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
They do. Whether you like them or not, they do.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They job to 3 guys who aren't normally a tag team.
Yep.
On Monday night. Even though Santino and Zack Ryder have been a tag team before, they were in the tournament for the tag team titles, I think, or number 1 contendership. Basically, they jobbed to 3 guys who just got put together.
Okay.
Yep.
So, it is what it is with 3MB.
Nothing you
okay.
can do in
It's
there.
okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's okay.
You know what? I'm actually kind of happy right now because I just found out
Oh, did you?
that Dean Ambrose had some time in CZW,
Yes, he
I don't
was.
care.
and
Did Dean
it
Ambrose?
shows me. It shows,
Did Dean Ambrose have time in
You mean
CZW?
John Moxley.
Oh, his cousin? I don't
John
care about
Moxley,
what his
John
cousin.
Moxley.
I don't
Oh.
care what his cousin.
oh,
did.
they have the same moves.
I don't care what his
Yes, you
cousin.
do. You do
His
care.
his
By the
cousin's
way,
copying.
They
you,
learn from each other.
Did you like it when I tagged you as Bo Dallas?
I'm not even gonna talk about that. Like, this is a mistake. I can't even talk about this.
Bo Dallas.
Stupid. I don't even know why he would be at Access. I don't want to, take away from what we're talking about or Main Event. But why even be at Access?
Well, he was.
You haven't done anything.
Ask him why.
I did ask him.
why he forgot about the Intercontinental Championship.
I did. He's like, oh man, I don't know. It's not. It's messed up.
I don't know. I completely forgot, and I have no response for it.
Yeah, right?
Try to stay in character as much as possible.
Yeah, and I asked. I'm like, you deserve it. You beat Wade Barrett. You deserve the Intercontinental title shot. He's like, yeah, man, I know. Just wait. I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting.
Why waste a question on that? You should
What else am I gonna
Why
ask
are you still
him?
here? Why are you here?
Well, I was gonna ask that to the Miz.
Yeah, he has to ask the Miz that question.
No,
Why
no,
are you still here? Go home.
Was the
You
Miz
say,
even
why
at?
don't you go home? But to Bo Dallas, why are you here? No, seriously, why is he there? He hasn't been on television.
Well, then ask
No,
why
no,
JTG
he was in the
there.
backstage segment where Kane attacked Alex Riley.
That's true.
The
Even Alex Riley was there.
the ever important attack on Alex Riley.
For no reason.
Needed
We
Bo
show
Dallas.
good guys and bad guys all hanging out in the same locker room.
Yes.
All right.
Then explain to me why JTG was there.
Well, that's just.
What, Access?
Yeah.
He needs to be doing something, I guess.
Oh yeah.
They need that jobber for
And
the
why was
Access
JG
matches.
there, huh?
'Cause he's
As he did that awkward finishing springboard to finish a match. Have you saw
it
that
the
video?
crossbody?
Yeah.
That's not awkward. He's done the crossbody. I don't know why he finished the match.
Yeah,
with it,
right?
But
I'm like, I'm gonna get to see the 450 and I get a springboard.
well, the 450 hurts. Hurts both guys. You don't want him to just do it all the time,
Ridiculous.
especially if it's not televised and no one will know about it, unless some doofus decides to talk about it on an internet show for no reason.
What's the problem talking about it?
It never happened.
It did
It
happen.
never happened.
Did happen.
Was it on WWE television?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't it?
No.
It does.
No.
If it didn't happen on TV, it didn't happen at all.
I still thought it was weird that he didn't do it.
Hey man, I thought it was weird that you told me Primo beat Adrian
Adrian
Neville.
Neville.
That happened too.
Oh, that was awkward.
What was the next match on Main Event?
Next match was, let's see, Zack Ryder versus Big E
Butt
Langston.
cheeks.
Before that happened, though, we did get a promo from Big E Langston.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
His
I've been
promo-
saying it's funny because I'm part of this Facebook group, and I do see comments from smarks out there who say that Big E Langston isn't good on the mic. And I'm thinking, well, I feel like they haven't even seen a Big E Langston. They must be confusing him with Bobby Lashley or something because he's fine on the mic.
The thing is,
His voice isn't bad.
No.
You know,
He's doing a character.
Yeah, he's doing a character, and he
doing a
doesn't
character.
just do the generic tough guy talk, you know.
Yeah.
And his voice matches his look better than Bobby Lashley's waist matches his look.
The thing is, it's two different characters, it seems. When he's on the main roster, when he's on Superstars, or, well, not Superstar, Main Event, Raw, when he's on the mic, it's a different character than when he's on NXT. On NXT, he's a much more serious E Langston.
Yeah.
Even though he's a face, think he may be jolly or whatever, on WWE television, he's kind of sarcastic and theatrical about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I got from this promo, actually.
Yeah.
It's funny because he almost played both characters in this promo, because in the beginning, Matt Striker asked him a question. He was serious about it. And then when he asked him the real question about Mania, was it?
I think, yeah, about his loss at Mania.
Yeah, he actually...
Or his debut.
Yeah, there you go.
His debut on Raw.
He did have a bit of a character to what he was saying. So, again, it's still developing. He's still developing that character. Well, no, he has it in NXT. He's just bringing it up to Main Event now.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time that he was on his own, not with Ziggler or AJ Lee by his side. So
because they were celebrating.
Yeah.
Taking over the world.
So it was good to see him. He did debut his music.
Yep.
It's not new music. He's been using it on NXT for a while.
I don't know the words.
I'm soldier.
I'll just skip through it.
And I almost forgot who he was facing. And then when Zack Ryder's music hits, I'm like, well, I would like to see more of Big E Langston's moveset, so I really hope he doesn't job that fast. It was a pretty fast job.
The problem, though, is with Big E, and let's say it's been about a year on NXT. It hasn't. Within that year, plus WWE television, you really haven't seen that much of his moveset.
No, not at all.
Which is, I guess the usual thing now. Like, everybody's got their moves that they do. Everyone likes to say, and we've said, like, when you get to the top, you do your 5 moves, like John Cena.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, you'll see a different move that maybe they haven't done in a while or never use. But it seems like with Big E, he's just been doing squash matches.
Yeah.
And then really building him up to be bigger than he is. So you only see him, like, run through somebody. He's done it a number of times.
And that's what we've actually seen. Zack Ryder did have a couple inches on him.
Yeah.
And
he's not big.
And that's actually, it's not fair. I actually looked for that because we have talked about how his height isn't huge. But since he dominated Zack Ryder the way he did look. It made him look bigger. That's the strategy they're using.
Even against Kane, if you noticed, when he's reversing the choke from the choke slam, Kane's got inches on the guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
That's why you don't put him up against.
He's got about a foot on him.
He's not that.
He's got about a foot on him.
That's why when they first brought him in and he destroyed Cena, I think, and Orton, and Cena was like, "Oh, he's like one bad guy. Stay away from him."
And you notice that, like,
they stopped.
So what you're saying, when Kane is by him,
yeah,
they don't do like the face to face.
No,
they use some sort of camera angle from the outside, which distorts the view.
That's why they don't put him against anybody else. Within the last couple months.
Yeah.
They dropped it as fast as they started with Cena and Orton because there's such a height difference. No one's gonna buy it.
Yeah.
He's bigger than Primo.
Primo.
I feel bad that we go to those guys, but like Kofi Kingston, but I'm not even sure about Kofi Kingston. Maybe they're the same height.
Maybe
he might be taller than Big E, but John Cena, Orton, Kane, obviously. These are just guys that you're not going to buy him being bigger than them.
Right.
Yeah, he's strong. They reference his background all the time.
Yeah.
You'll believe the moves when he doesn't, but when you just see the height first, just right off the bat, you're like, all right, well.
Yeah, there won't be any stare downs in the near future for him. So.
Anything else happen on Main Event?
It was a good match, right?
Good
squash.
It was a good squash.
He even ran through Zack Ryder without running through him. Zack Ryder was coming at him in the corner, and he just knocked him right out of the air.
Yeah, he did.
With, I guess, like the clothesline that he does. And you said they made the big ending look good.
Yeah. If for some reason it looked good.
I said it's because they did camera angles.
Yeah.
They changed the camera angles during the whole move.
For whatever reason, it makes it look more impactful. But, yeah, he did it well. The ring, it made a good sound and everything. Because again, I remember seeing it to Daniel Bryan. It looked just terrible, but
I've seen him done to Kane, and it doesn't look that impactful either.
yeah.
Kobe Kingston, I think he did it too.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah.
So,
soldier.
after that, we got, of course, some Raw rebounds.
Right, they
I
did an
believe
interview backstage.
Yeah, I believe the first Raw rebound was Brock Lesnar, Triple H.
I'm not gonna lie, I just fast forward through them. I don't remember.
Yeah, and then the next one was Ryback's heel turn.
Mm-hmm.
What heel turn?
Well, according to WWE, it's a heel turn, but
Oh man, it was great.
but
I loved it.
It was great, man.
Loved
It
it.
was great watching him moments earlier getting booed for hoping Cena up, just booed by the whole crowd.
Right.
Then a couple seconds later,
Yay!
just getting cheered. The meat hook
No, it
clothesline
was
and
cool.
the shell shocked was amazing.
I like my cool. What is he doing? What is he doing? Well, he's gonna.
He's a good guy. He can't do
He
this.
can't do that. Well,
Bad.
he shell shocked Cena.
He's
Oh well.
a bad guy now.
You mean a good guy?
There's a bad guy now. For
He's still gonna get. Still gonna get cheered.
I know, but that's our generation. I think
That's the problem.
our generation / Smarks. We love the heels. We just love bad guys.
What do you call Ziggler then?
Well, I've been saying that him, Biggie, Langston, and AJ are face for like the last 4 months.
And they are, because.
Well, now I don't know what they're gonna do with them because of just. I mean, it was the one crowd, so who knows if he's still gonna get cheered everywhere he goes.
We'll see.
But we just love bad guys. They're written better.
Like, I even cheered at Mania when he came out, so.
Well, it was basically the same crowd.
Yeah.
But I mentioned this yesterday with the person I was watching Main Event and Raw with, because we rewatched some of the spots. We just love bad guys.
Yeah.
We love villains in comic books. We love bad guys in wrestling because they're just more interesting than the good guys.
Mm-hmm.
The good guys always go too good, where they're just boring.
Okay. Well, they have to be. It just you have to have the bad guy in there.
Yeah.
You can't just. I mean, it is possible to have the bio there, but again, it's going to at some point drag on. You do have to have some type of test for this guy.
Yeah.
And I believe that maybe that's why the Cena character became so stale at some point, because rather than give this guy a test or some type of failure, you had him beat everybody.
Which I was actually thinking about, because we talked about how after Lesnar came back, he doesn't have a good record.
No.
He's lost twice, won once.
And I feel like even that loss against Lesnar, that was just there for the whole. It was almost like an anti-bullying public service announcement. That's
You mean
all
when
it was.
Cena beat him?
Yeah.
That was-
The whole John Cena Brock Lesnar thing was just some anti-bullying story.
Yeah.
Because you did have, because if you take that match out of the mix, Cena's lost just about every big match he was in.
Yeah.
You know, The Rock.
Even when he won, he
quite
lost.
a few against
like when
CM
he
Punk.
cashed in.
Yeah, yeah, and losing to Ziggler. You know, John Laurinaitis, Tensai. He even lost to at one point on Raw.
Tensai!
But
So
that's what I was saying.
that was basically the only time you got some type, and maybe not even character development, because they didn't mention why Cena was feeling that way. They didn't mention why he was losing these matches. They never once referenced, ever since he lost to The Rock, he hasn't been the same. They never once said that, and I feel like that was a mistake. You know, maybe they should have said something.
Well, this was actually my thought on Brock Lesnar more than Cena. Was like how bad the writing was. You should have had, if you were going with that, with Cena losing, Cena could have lost to Brock Lesnar.
He could have.
Brock Lesnar could have beaten Triple H.
Yeah.
And then really when he does nothing for however many months, 6 months,
Yeah.
8 months, at Mania having the match with Triple H again, that's when Triple H could have beaten him.
Yeah.
Okay? And with Cena, he could have lost and kept losing like he did all year. Then it was the year of Cena in 2013. Cena beats Rock, has the title, Brock Lesnar goes after him.
Right.
Then Cena finally beats him a year later, because it's a new Cena.
Yeah.
This is already,
This is a new Cena. This is a Cena that, well, according to the storyline, will have
Yeah.
redeemed himself,
Yeah.
like you said.
To me, it's better writing than what's already happened.
Yeah. They really botched up the Brock Lesnar thing.
Yeah.
At the time, I thought, okay, you had Lesnar lose to Cena. You could still do a thing where, Lesnar lost the battle, won the war.
Mm-hmm.
That could work. But after that, you just decide to attack Triple H. And forgot all about John Cena. They didn't even try to avenge a loss.
No.
Nothing backstage.
Nothing against Ryback turning heel.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you're keeping the character, but making him a bad guy.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that complain that he's the same. He's been the same guy for a whole year plus, and it's kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he still gets cheered by any crowd he goes to.
Yeah.
And I'm not hating it, because I want to see him destroy Cena.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been reserved for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. And to an extent, that's what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
I was holding out a little hope.
A whole year later at Extreme Rules, you have Lesnar Cena again.
Mm-hmm. But again, even that,
But now it looks like we're getting Ryback and Cena.
Yeah.
And then
Which isn't too bad though. Go on.
That's okay. What were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything. I was listening to what you were saying.
No, we can go on. Next match was Jack Swagger Yoshitatsu.
Yep. What did you think of the promo before the match?
It was odd.
It was?
It was odd.
He
It was
bounced
funny. It was funny. Basically, Zeb Coulter comes out and decides that he's going to appeal to Yoshitatsu. He does still cut the whole thing about immigrants and all that stuff, but then he actually does try to shake the hand of Yoshitatsu to show that he's culturally sensitive.
And he bows to him.
Yoshitatsu, first of all, accepted the handshake. Then he bows and then just gets punted by Jack Swagger.
Yeah. And on commentary it was interesting.
Yeah.
Because they were behind Yoshitatsu, making people, I guess, feel bad for him. Or get a little bit more story from Yoshi, because he's never on the mic. He's never on any shows.
Yeah.
Unless he's losing.
Or getting knocked out by the Big Show with Alex Riley.
Yeah. Nobody saw him coming.
Nobody heard him coming, saw him coming.
Looking in the direction that he was coming, didn't see him.
No, this was more or less also a squash match.
Yeah.
Yoshi did get some offense in. He got more offense in than Zack Ryder did against Big E Langston.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was about it. You knew Jack Swagger was going to win this. But yeah, I mean, he just went from WrestleMania, tapped out on Raw, made somebody tap out on Main Event. He's definitely out of the title picture now.
Well,
I would like to see what's going to happen to him on SmackDown. But at this point, I mean, you're not going to have Ziggler go up against Jack Swagger. No. Unless you do a triple threat.
Yeah.
So.
Well, here's my, I think this is his punishment now.
No, they would have punished him already.
Well, the punishment has begun already.
I mean, what do you
and
think
the punishment was, like you said, going along with the storyline and have him lose anyway.
Yeah. But he got his match at Mania. So how much of a punishment really was it? Not everyone can say
the only thing was
they had a title match
still
at Mania.
lost.
Yeah, the only thing was he got
he was in a match.
He got the jobber entrance. But he was there already.
Yeah.
That was pretty unbelievable.
Unless you were there, I guess. You saw his entrance.
Yeah.
If you saw it on TV or internet where everyone watches everything now, he didn't.
True.
It's got a good point.
But yeah, he could be going right back to the mid card.
They're still hanging on to the storyline.
It's still the same character.
It's still
the same character. I don't necessarily know if he's still carrying over with Del Rio.
No, I mean the character storyline.
Yeah.
That can continue no matter what. I mean, no matter who you put him up against, like say like Yoshitatsu.
Yeah. It does. It does. It works on Americans too, because they did it with Zack Ryder. It works with any face or any heel. He's really the ultimate heel right now.
Yeah, because he can. Yeah, he appeals to.
He goes.
He
up
can bring out something
everybody.
against anybody. Really.
Yeah,
and that showed with the Wade Barrett run-in a few weeks ago.
Well, I was thinking more of Zack Ryder, even though they're face and heel.
Right. But I was going more to the extent where you said it even works against heels, and it did.
Yeah,
it did already.
But I do like to see what they're going to do with Jack Swagger now since he's out of the title picture.
I would love to see him destroy Epic on Primo.
That'd be nice.
I initially thought that because, if you're going with a race thing or an anti-immigrant thing, it works in either case, and they're already the jobbers.
Right.
So have them destroy both these guys.
So have another person destroyed the tag team division.
Well,
It's already being destroyed at this point anyway.
why not?
I mean, the Usos lost to Mark Henry.
Well, I
The
think.
primetime players lost to, of all people, The Miz.
Well,
Yeah.
I read somewhere
And you
that
might
the
as well-
Usos are gonna win a match. I don't know if it's on.
a whole
I don't know if
match.
it's on SmackDown or
Saturday morning song.
They won a match on
Is it
Access.
Saturday
Or
morning?
does that not count?
It doesn't count.
Doesn't
That was on
count.
TV.
They
Unbelievable.
win with the roll up. They still win.
Yeah. So I mean, we had. I mean, that's isn't that amazing how all the teams that actually fit together, with the exception of the Shield, all the teams that actually fit together, just lose.
Not
Yep.
Tons of Funk.
They lost to the Shield.
Crap.
So
But
you have.
Kofi lost to the Shield.
But that's
Okay,
Jobber
all right,
Kofi.
I'll give you that one. But I will say, like, the primetime players, the
Well,
Usos,
those guys were pretty much
Epico and Primo are gonna.
jobbers.
That's all they are.
That's the thing. They really should keep away singles competitors for the most part,
Mhm.
and tag teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it just makes people look bad. It makes not just one person like, oh, there's a jobber, they look bad.
Mhm.
You're making 2, 3, 4 people look bad.
Yeah. And
You're
you're wasting
making-
everyone's time because you know who's gonna win.
Yeah. They need that hometown jobber.
Yeah, they need to start
Like
getting
with
people from the
Ryback.
crowds again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hometown Jobber.
Where you just have these two guys that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Or like maybe John will have heard of them, or I'll have heard of them, or whatever. You have heard of them. But then you know they're going to lose. They're going up against Ryback.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like 3 guys. 3 small guys.
All get shell shocked at the same time.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what they should do. I mean, that's what they used to do. That's what Jeff and Matt Hardy did before they were contracted to the WWF.
Right.
And I say WF because that's what it was at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I do.
They
if,
were
you,
the-
if you remember, I think the first night on Raw, they didn't get squashed by King because it wasn't a match, but they just got thrown out of the ring.
Yeah. Or Jeff Hardy jobbed to Razor Ramon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There isn't a problem with
What
them
I-
beating the hometown guy
Oh,
Yeah.
that
definitely
no
not.
one's heard about.
What I do like is going back and seeing stars as when they were jobbers,
Yeah.
actually. Like,
And there's a perfectly good write-off reason.
yeah.
They're new.
Mm-hmm.
They're new. They're gonna get beat by the guy who's established.
Yeah.
But then over time, like Jeff Hardy, became champion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you remember, also Bryan Danielson also was in WWE at one point.
Daniel Bryan Danielson.
Wrestled on Velocity.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to
Samoa
wrestle
Joe.
on Velocity.
Daniels.
Dean Ambrose wrestled on Velocity a while back, too.
Did he or did his cousin?
No, it was him. It was,
You
it was
sure?
actually Dean
What
Ambrose.
was that? Yeah.
Oh.
It was Dean Ambrose.
Well,
He teamed up
Same-
with,
same thing.
give me a sec here, Bad Attitude.
well, it just goes to show the evolution of a
Yeah,
character.
Yeah.
It always is interesting. And I remember I mentioned this on another show that we actually had, WWE Fan Nation, the YouTube channel,
Mhm.
started uploading videos of people earlier in their career. The match you mentioned, he lost to, and I'm talking about Daniel Bryan, he lost to Jamie Noble.
Jamie Noble, boy.
Jamie Noble.
How did he lose? Do you remember?
Jamie Noble just pinned him.
Oh, did?
He just pinned him.
That's it.
Because Jamie Noble had a really good guillotine.
Okay. My mistake. It wasn't Dean Ambrose. It was his cousin
I
Moxley.
knew it. I knew it.
He teamed with Bad Attitude, and they lost to Eminem.
Who's Bad Attitude?
I have no idea.
All right. Well, it's not important.
Yeah, it's not
Well,
important.
it kinda is now.
It's not
Obviously,
important
we
'cause
know.
I don't think
who-
they're there anymore anyway. So it's really not.
Yeah. So they lost to Eminem. This was back in 2006 on Velocity. I probably saw it because I actually did watch Velocity.
It's one of the, wasn't Velocity a really good show?
It was, and the theme song was good.
What was the
It was just some generic rock song. And like a race car going around for some reason. I don't know. It was, and the setup was amazing. It was a green SmackDown.
Yep. Yeah.
Which I
with
thought
a V,
was,
a green V.
Yeah, which I thought was better than the blue SmackDown, but green's my favorite color.
You add another V on the bottom of that, upside down, and it's an X, and it's DX.
Yes, that's true too.
DX could show up.
Yay!
We have anything else on
Main event.
on tap for tonight? No, I think that was it. Just a bunch
That
of
was it.
build-ups to matches we already know about, or
Couple
still
of-
on Raw.
couple of birthdays today.
No.
Oh wait, also they did show a quick promo of a review of the Shield trying to attack the Undertaker, and then Kane and Daniel
I
Bryan
forgot to go back to that.
making the save. So
Happy birthday to Harley Race, who turns 70. Goldust turns 47.
Wow.
Balls Mahoney turns 41.
Balls Mahoney.
Balls Mahoney. And Bill Alfonso turns 56.
Wow.
And Rock is scheduled to premiere at the Pain and Gain tonight. At the premiere.
Nice.
Of course, because it's the movie that he's in.
I know.
And guess what? Spoiler alert for anybody that's listening to this. John's going to get mad because he's going to no-sell these injuries he has.
Yes.
Even though the movie's been filmed already.
Yeah. Well, no, he's going to be at the premiere or whatever, so
Yeah.
he's going to be out there.
Oh,
And
that's
John's
right.
going to get all pissed off
Yeah,
because he's not going to have
falling
tape ribs
off.
or anything. Because, let's think. He's not really injured, so... Oh my god, he's not selling the injuries! It's a stupid story anyway. And if you buy into it, I'm calling you or John.
Well,
Boom. Unless you're a kid.
I
Then
gotta.
whoa.
Wow.
Then he's legit injured.
Right. No,
I don't want to ruin the magic for anybody.
wrestling's real, guys.
Yes.
Just remember that.
Wrestling's real.
Yeah, just like when I put a sleeper on that.
On
I don't know
Rob
if he's some sort of
Mastrio.
Hispanic.
You know, I like him.
Luchador.
I don't know why you keep.
I don't like him.
Mastrio.
He's stealing my spot, and I don't like it.
You still on your spotlight?
No, he's stealing my spot. Every time I come in, he's sitting in my seat. I can't have it.
Oh, he's just.
Can't have it.
We can't.
You
be
guys don't
going-
even tell me it's happening. I show him like, hey, you guys, I'm gonna be a little late. And they're like, all right, let's get somebody else in here. They come in, and there's this dopey guy in a mask.
Well, he's hanging outside, so might as well ask
You're
him.
just bringing in people that are just hanging out around
Well,
here.
he's wearing a mask, so we
That's
figured,
even
why
worse. That's even worse.
Not? Why not?
Bring a masked man into your house.
I guess we have the bracket to
We got the
finish up.
bracket. I was looking forward to this.
We're on
I really
to the
was.
second round,
Mhm.
and we'll start. We'll start up with Kurt Angle versus Chris Sabin.
I think it's pretty easy.
Sam,
Kurt Angle.
it's gonna be Kurt.
Just like Amy
Just
said,
like,
it's gonna be Angle.
just like Hogan in the first bracket.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Even more decisive, actually, though. So.
I think it might be a little. At the end, it might get a little.
This actually is more up in the air than the last bracket we did.
Yeah, it
Because I
is.
called it from the beginning that Hogan was gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
This, not so sure.
Taker versus the British Bulldog.
I didn't even vote for the British Bulldog the
I'll
first
go
time.
Undertaker.
Taker.
I'm just saying Taker. Even though you guys are like, oh, British Bulldog. And I was like, just because you could lift somebody doesn't mean you could wrestle.
Well, we just put him
Somehow
in there.
he-
We needed to.
Who
fill
was
a
he
bracket.
going up against?
Who was the first?
Bulldog?
Yeah, the first guy Bulldog went up against.
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler against Bulldog?
Yeah.
How? I still don't understand how Bulldog got by.
Yeah, how did Bulldog get
I
by?
don't know.
You guys are a bunch of turds. That's how. That's
I
right.
don't
My
know
voice
how.
cracked. I went through puberty again. Because I don't know how he got through, but if my pick Dolph would have went through, I would have picked Dolph over Undertaker this time too.
We probably had to go. We referenced his match at SummerSlam with Bret Hart. That's one of the things we referenced.
I maintain that
He was
just
never
'cause
bad in the ring. I
yeah,
don't
but
think he was
just
ever
'cause
bad in the ring.
lift people up because that's he
No,
was
but
basically
not
the
even
powerhouse.
not even the lifting up. Just he wasn't bad in the ring. I thought he was pretty good. And Ziggler, I mean,
Well, it doesn't matter because it was unanimous anyway. I think
was he unanimous really?
it had to because it was either 3-on-1 because I know I picked Dolph, or it would have been they were both eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They
you
both
guys
died in a car accident.
yes,
Next we have Joe versus Ricky Steamboat.
huh?
Samoa
Joe?
Joe versus Ricky Steamboat.
Well, I think Joe's a really good technical wrestler.
I have to
I
go
have
with
to
Joe.
go with Joe also. Yeah.
Joe moves
Samoa
on.
Joe. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
Joe
unanimous.
moves on. Sorry there, Ricky. Christopher Daniels versus Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel
Dave
Bryan.
Ryan.
I'm just gonna go out there. Not gonna let this. Not gonna be hanging around like before.
Yeah.
Y2J versus Arn Anderson.
Y2J.
Y2J. Yeah. Chris Jericho. Yeah.
Y2J. I don't know what he's doing recently.
Losing. That's what he's
I don't know
doing.
why, but
It's pretty funny. It's almost like a running gag.
It is.
You know.
It's a running gag that I don't
But
appreciate.
it's funny
the
because
punchline.
like
Go on a
people
shoot
who
about
people
it.
who are our age, let's say
know that Jericho doesn't suck.
no, like let's say we're going to a show and we're bringing like our little cousin, let's say a little cousin who's into wrestling, right? We're trying to tell him that Chris Jericho was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yes.
But all this kid sees is Jericho losing and losing and losing, and we have to. We're like, come on, let me show you some old videos.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, I don't want to see it. Chris Jericho sucks. He never wins. I'm like,
Yes.
I give up.
And it's too late.
It is. And it goes back to the point where one of the comments I read said it all. And it said, I understand Chris Jericho is trying to put people over, but he's got to start winning matches.
He does.
This is ridiculous.
It's really the way to put somebody over. If you constantly lose to everybody, who are you putting over? You're just the jobber then.
Exactly. And it's it's truth, and it's funny because he did actually start winning some matches before Mania,
He did.
and now he's just back to losing.
Yep.
Because now he doesn't have to put Fandango over. He already is now.
The way to put somebody over is you beat them, you beat them, you beat them, you beat them, and then they finally beat you.
Yeah.
Yep.
They finally overcome the obstacle of what you
And
want.
it wasn't even like he was losing because of somebody's cheating.
Yeah.
There was a match a couple weeks ago where he was up against the Big Show. And Big Show is the heel. He's going to challenge Del Rio for the title.
Big Show I can buy though.
I can buy it too, but the way he won was kind of blech.
Yeah.
Like, you could have had a spot where, let's say, how can I put it?
Or you
Where
could
Jericho
have-
did something, where Big Show did something behind the refs while he wasn't looking. Alright? Because he just straight up beat Chris Jericho in a few minutes.
Well, it was a longer match. It wasn't a couple minutes, but the one match I can defend was I can't remember who he was up against. And if
Jack Swagger, maybe? Because I know he lost to Jack Swagger a couple of weeks
from
later.
the interference of Fandango.
Yeah, that I buy.
That
I
you
get
could
it.
buy.
Mhm.
But when you're just constantly losing,
Yeah. Like, it's funny, when they had that move, that six-man tag against the Shield, it was Sheamus, was it Orton?
it was Sheamus, Orton, and
Chris Jericho. Jericho, he just replaced, no, I'm sorry. He just replaced, was it John Cena? Or Ryback?
It was Ryback, because Ryback was in it originally.
Yeah. So he just replaced Ryback, and as soon as Jericho was put in that match, I knew he would eat the pin.
Yeah.
I said it, I sent you guys a message, I bet Jericho takes the pin.
Yeah. Well,
And he took the pin.
Eat it.
So, yeah, what he ate was a flying knee to the face from Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
So,
next on the bracket?
Kofi versus Owen Hart.
Owen Hart. Yeah.
Owen Hart. Rob?
I said Owen.
He was
Good job.
actually the first one to say Owen Hart, yeah.
Sorry. So Owen moves on. Interesting matchups next.
Let's see what we got here.
Oh, Brock gets the bye.
Why?
Because
Brock
it was
Lesnar, yeah.
Razor Ramon, I think it was... Oh, Finlay versus Razor Ramon. And we both...
I still said Finlay. I
don't
maintain
know how
Finlay was
Razor
the better
Ramon.
one.
I don't know how Razor Ramon got by.
He didn't.
Oh,
They both died in a car crash, remember?
okay. Yeah, I don't even know why it was argued though.
Finlay
Should
was
have been
better.
Finlay and. what did he won?
Again, this wasn't about popularity or anything.
No, it's about.
This wasn't
technical
about
wrestling.
charisma or whatever. And Finlay, he was good. I mean, how old was he when he made his second run into WWE?
Was it his second or his first?
But I'm
It
not
was his
sure.
first run
Might have
in
been his
WWE
first,
because
yeah.
he used to be in WCW.
Right. And he was still great for his age. I mean,
Yeah, he was old like his entire career.
Yeah. So it's just funny. Yeah, but I do remember. I think it was you and me picked
Yeah, I
Finlay,
don't know how-
and John and Carlos picked
Those guys picked
Razor Ramon. This is why I maintain we shouldn't have had 4 people.
I know.
I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah,
Really
no,
am?
No, you're not.
Well, Brock Lesnar does get the bye.
Brock Lesnar would beat Finlay, I guess, right? I think Finlay is the better technical wrestler, actually.
Yeah.
Technical wrestling, because now he's not even a technical wrestler. Brock Lesnar now
He's just a brawler now.
yeah. So I would have picked Finlay.
You know what? Maybe
I would have
would've
picked Finlay. I picked Finlay for Razor Ramon. I would have picked Finlay for Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
But I think,
But since Finlay, we decided to write him off along with
Yeah.
Razor Ramon.
yep, because we couldn't agree.
Yeah, so Brock Lesnar gets the bye. Maybe he got lucky. We'll see.
He did. He dodged a bullet.
Next we get Lance Storm versus CM Punk.
Now, this is a tough one. To me, unlike Finlay, Razor Ramon, this one is...
Unlike all the smarks sucking off CM Punk.
Lance Storm can wrestle.
Lance Storm can wrestle.
It's incredibly boring.
Yeah, again, this has nothing to do with mic skills, nothing to do with charisma.
I have to get over
nothing to do with reaction or anything. Lance Storm is a phenomenal
actually
wrestler.
going to go with
Lance
Punk.
Storm? Or Punk?
I'm actually going to go with Punk.
Okay.
Because Lance Storm, he can wrestle. I don't think anybody in here can argue against that.
Mm-hmm.
However, he's always wrestled the same guys.
Yeah.
So they all know each other.
Yeah.
And they all know how they work in the ring. Punk goes up against a lot of people and out wrestles 95% of them.
Yeah.
Aside from...
And I do remember,
and
Punk, has had a history of carrying matches.
Yeah.
I do remember on
Elijah
Raw.
Burke.
Yeah, well, that was just unbelievably bad. Not even Punk could carry that one. But I do remember...
I bought it, though.
A few Raws ago, there was a Raw where CM Punk had a match with Mark Henry. Had no business being a good match.
Nope.
But it was.
Yeah.
And the fact that you know exactly which match I'm talking about speaks volumes.
And I think that that
So
being
I would
said,
go
Mark
with-
Henry gets I think he's a little underrated.
Mark Henry, yeah.
I'm not saying he should be one of the greats,
Yeah.
but he doesn't get enough credit for his big man wrestling.
Yeah, because again, that match showed, and to what you said, it does take two to have a good match.
Yeah.
And Henry did what he had to do. Punk did what he had to do.
A level of how bad you can be before people notice that the match is bad. Like the Elijah Burke Punk match.
Yeah.
Yeah, Punk can carry it, but you just saw how bad somebody is.
Yeah.
Like Mark Henry, you might not think he's one of the best, but it was still a good match.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So I have to give it to Punk.
Yeah, I would give it to Punk too.
Punk.
Not being a smart, just think about
I
it.
respect what Lance Storm has done.
Lance Storm, but like I said, you were too busy playing a game.
No, I
Lance
heard
Storm only wrestled the same guys over and over again.
Yeah.
Now, what, are we taking away from his ECW career as well?
I'm sorry, this is just entire career.
Okay, no, that's fine.
He always wrestled the same guys.
I'm going with Punk. I'm just saying, like, I respect what Lance Storm has done.
Oh, yeah.
He can wrestle. It's
No one's
just
saying he can't.
CM Punk has done. I'm not saying you guys, but I don't know. Smarks out there and stuff like that. I respect what he's done. That's all. So Punk moves on.
Yeah.
Wow, this is getting interesting. Brett versus Jack Swagger.
Wow, this is a really good one.
Brett.
Brett, it would be Bret Hart though.
Yeah, Jack Swagger's got the background, but
That
I don't want to say it, but
hasn't really translated to WWE style wrestling.
Brett's got the dungeon, which is sad that you have to fall back on that.
Yeah.
Because not everybody that graduated is the best.
Yeah.
At least not the
Lita
best entertainment.
Versus Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Lita.
Lita, yeah.
I don't know how Stone Cold
Wow.
got by. Stone Cold
Yeah,
can't.
I mean, I forgot who he was up against.
Honky Tonk Man.
That's why.
Yeah,
Because no one cares
the
about
one
him.
guy
Yeah.
that Stone Cold could
Yeah.
possibly. Again, I'd never understood. I understand. Well, I do understand the fetish with Stone Cold that the WWE and Smarks have as well.
Yeah, he was a good character.
But you take away the character, you take away the storylines. You look at his wrestling matches.
Nope.
What is there to write home about?
Nope.
Nothing.
Oh my god, he did the stunner.
Yay!
He does it
Oh, Luthez press.
This is
Stomping a mud hole.
The running elbow drop.
Yeah, right?
He flipped somebody off.
But he did have some good matches in respect of Stone Cold.
No, absolutely he did. Absolutely he did.
This one's tough. Taz versus Eddie Guerrero.
Maybe Taz.
Eddie.
Oof. I don't know.
I pick Eddie because I think Taz was more of the submission, even though he was small, sort of like a submission powerhouse.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. But wouldn't it be the same thing for Joe?
Joe was
Well, the thing about Joe was
wrestler.
that he was technical, but he did have his risky spots. And on top of the fact that he was able to do those as a big guy.
Yeah. And I think really the whole thing with the idea of Taz is, yeah, he got hurt, but that's because everybody in ECW works stiff against each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it doesn't make you a better technical wrestler, it just makes you a badass.
It does.
That's really what it comes down to.
True, I can see what you're saying there.
I don't want to take anything away from Taz,
Oh, definitely not.
but
It's tough.
he was really just a stiff powerhouse submission guy. Like, he'd beat you, and then he'd make you tap.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Hey, man.
Yeah. No, I would still stick with Taz.
Ooh, not cool. I gotta go with Eddie.
Okay.
I have to go with Eddie. Damn, I was on the spot that time. Not cool. Austin Aries versus HBK. HBK.
Shawn Michaels, yeah. Yeah, he's just...
Alright,
What can I say? He's just got too many classics under his belt. You know?
Yeah.
No disrespect to Austin Aries.
Again, I mean, give Austin Aries more years, who knows? Who knows what could happen?
Oh,
Come up
definitely.
against more guys.
Yeah.
Next we have...
Get him out of a tag team that's not really doing anything for him. It's funny, it's doing a lot for me. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Is it really furthering
This
his
is
career?
the final... It's the second round, the last bracket. Benoit versus Dean Malenko.
That's a tough one. Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit.
1,000 holds, man. 1,000 holds.
Benoit moves on.
Would you have picked Dean Malenko?
I think I might have. He's the man of 1,000 holds, you guys.
Rey Mysterio versus
But would that mean
Randy
Jericho's better than Malenko because he's the man of 1,001 holds?
Savage. Did you forget that?
If I put them together, I would have to pick Jericho.
Because he has that one more
Yeah,
move.
he's got the one more. That's all you need. The one more hold.
Next we have Rey Mysterio versus Randy Savage.
Randy Savage.
Savage?
I actually have to go with Mysterio.
No, too bad. 2 out of 1, bitch.
No, it's okay.
Biatch.
I would actually go like one of the things I say is Rey Mysterio in his prime was phenomenal.
He was.
But I mean these days he's just.
Oh, I know.
I can look past that, though.
I would
Even though
almost.
he was all high flying.
Mhm.
And again, wrestled the same guys.
Yeah.
He did.
I mean, so did Savage.
But then you had those matches where he wrestled big guys and they looked so ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, he could do his. I mean, when he starts beating people like the Big Show and Kane and Batista and all that
Kane
stuff.
constantly.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny because the way that feud started, Kane was dominating the feud.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, for some reason, they decide, hey, let's give Mysterio some victories, and it just
Never stopped.
it didn't stop, and it looked hysterical. I mean, come on,
Next we have William Regal versus the Nature Boy.
Regal.
Regal.
All around Regal.
Yeah.
And
Again,
Cesaro gets
I just never thought Ric Flair. I never saw what people saw in Ric Flair.
He's entertaining.
And Cesaro moved on because Shelton Benjamin and Bob Backlund both got into a car accident and couldn't make it. So
Yeah.
poor them.
Terrible.
Terrible. So good for Cesaro.
Yeah, he probably would have made it anyway.
Off to the Sweet 16. And this is where it gets a little tough. Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle?
Yep.
Wow. By Taker.
Who were they saying should have been in there instead of Undertaker?
Giant Gonzalez.
Trish Stratus?
No, it was somebody else.
British Bulldog?
No, it was against the British Bulldog.
Oh, Dolph Ziggler.
It still would have been Angle.
Yeah, it would have been Angle
Still would
anyway.
have been Angle.
Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan.
That's
Daniel
a good
Bryan.
one. Yeah, Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan. Hey, like you say it's tough, and I was like, oh, Daniel Bryan.
It is
You know,
tough,
it
but
is
when you
tough,
really
like, but-
get past some stuff.
Y2J versus Owen Hart.
Why'd you say?
Yeah, I think I have to go Chris Jericho as well.
It's a toss-up. I have to go with Y2J. Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk.
CM Punk.
Yeah.
CM Punk.
I didn't wanna ruin anything with Ant-Man.
Like at this point, I would usually look at these people's backgrounds, like Brock
Yeah,
Lesnar's.
I was gonna wrestle him
his
back.
NCAA things and whatnot, but we're talking wrestling in terms of what he does in the ring. He's just not safe to work with at some point.
Right.
He gets too rough, and I would say that if you injure your opponents, that deducts points in terms of your wrestling skill, wouldn't it?
No, you're right. But who has he injured so far?
Bob Holly.
Yeah, it was a pretty big injury.
Yes, I forgot about
he
that.
almost-
That's immediately what I thought of.
He almost killed himself.
Good point. Yeah,
He's reckless.
Superstar headbutt.
I don't know if you guys.
Well, that too. I was thinking about when he dove outside during the John Cena match.
I don't know if you recall the F5 to A train.
I remember that.
That were like folded him up.
Yeah.
Just too many things.
Sandbagging guys, A Train, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Bret Hart versus Lita.
Bret Hart.
Bret Hart. Yeah. There we go.
There we
People
go.
just wanted Lita out of this.
No, and I understand why, but look, she was a better wrestler. She was better in the ring than
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Absolutely.
The Heartbreak Kid versus Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie.
That's the match
Okay.
that nobody really.
Everyone wanted to see.
Yeah.
How crazy he comes out on the bracket.
I would say Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie.
Wow.
Yep, I would put Eddie Guerrero ahead of HBK because he didn't need those spots like flipping over the turnbuckle. He didn't need to do the skin the cat thing.
Well, I mean, he had this spot.
Which was the spot?
The chair spot.
Well.
Wow, I'm actually upset HBK's out of this, but that's alright.
It happens.
Chris Benoit versus Randy Savage.
Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit. Benoit, you're still not out of it yet. I'm loving it. And Regal versus Antonio Cesaro.
Wow, there you
Ah.
go. Well, that's a good one. But Regal because he does have years on Cesaro.
I want
Regal.
Cesaro in there.
Hey, but I mean, he's eliminated by Cesaro. There's no, Regal. There's no shame in that.
I love her. I would have gone Cesaro.
So,
We're down to the Elite 8.
yeah,
Kurt Angle versus Daniel Bryan.
that is a tough one.
That is
But
tough.
I still do have to go with
I gotta go with
Kurt
Bryan.
Angle.
I gotta go with D-Bry. Just because he's got a future. Kurt Angle's a little bit older now.
But
So
that
wait,
doesn't
does
mean
that
he
mean that
wants
when in 20 years, when Daniel Bryan's up against another up and coming wrestler, we're gonna eliminate Bryan because he doesn't have a future?
Yeah, that's not fair.
Can't do that.
Talking about pure wrestling skill.
Alright, I gotta go with Bryan.
That's a dream match.
That is.
What a match! I can't imagine what that would be like with Attitude Era Kurt Angle going up against Daniel Bryan. Both, with the naive Kurt Angle character going toe to
I know.
toe with Daniel Bryan at this point. But yeah,
Not trying to say I want Kurt Angle out of this. It's just the way I see it now. Like, who's better at this moment and who has like a good career going?
Mhm.
I see Kurt Angle in TNA not doing much.
But
He's not.
that has nothing to do with wrestling.
No, I understand that. But he's had great matches. So is Daniel Bryan, though.
And he's like the captain of TNA right now. So
Yeah.
he's doing a lot.
I would like to see where Daniel Bryan is at Kurt Angle's age right now. That's
He's
gonna be
had
interesting to
attached
see.
retina. Kurt Angle's had the broken neck.
Yeah. Because considering he does everything with all these injuries. And Kurt Angle does have his air spots.
He does.
Moonsaults off the cage.
The crooked salt.
Yeah, the cricket salt.
Crooked salt.
He's not a bad moonsault.
Not at all.
Better wrestler.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much dead air just from thinking.
I know.
Dead air. Boring.
Boring.
But you got Angle.
Yeah, I do have.
And you picked Daniel Bryan because
Daniel
you're
Bryan.
a putz.
Putts.
I keep coming with new insults for him. I don't want to say Angle, but I don't want it to seem like, oh, you picked Daniel Bryan because right now he's more entertaining.
Mhm.
But I might have to say this Daniel Bryan. I don't want to overlook the whole he won a gold medal,
Mhm.
but I have to say Daniel Bryan.
That's alright. Again, it's not like I'm
I
trying
don't
to
see
say.
Daniel Bryan winning anyway.
Mhm.
I got my eye on another guy that's in this tournament.
Do you?
Oh,
I
yeah.
do.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, the way Bryan's going right now.
Well, it's Daniel Bryan. You picked Bryan.
Yeah, I
I
know.
picked Bryan.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I
no,
just
no respect, no disrespect. to Kurt Angle.
I didn't buy the arguments because that would be like me saying, let's say, Chris Jericho beats Owen Hart because Owen Hart's dead. I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't
No, of
use
course
that
not.
argument. I'd
But,
say
all I'm saying is I like what Daniel Bryan's doing right now. Wrestling wise, he's actually wrestling. Where Kurt Angle is he wrestling in TNA?
Angle's gotten to that point where
Yes.
he just does the moves that you know from.
You know what he's gonna do.
But is that where we're ranking them as they
Oh, no, definitely
currently
not.
are?
Definitely
I'm
not.
not ranking them.
I thought we were ranking them based on their careers.
Careers.
That's
if
where
you want
I'm
to go by
looking.
careers, it's like Kurt Angle by a mile. But
I don't think that's not how I was looking at
I
it.
wouldn't say it by a mile.
Absolutely
What
not.
I would say is Kurt Angle in his prime, in terms of wrestling, overall in his career. I
At
would
their
say-
best
Yeah, at their best.
versus this person at their best.
Yeah, basically. I would say that Kurt Angle at his best. Well, I had him winning the bracket because I did kind of do this in my head. I would have him ahead of everybody. Just
I'm
because he
going
is
against
legitimate.
My pick.
Huh?
My pick. I don't put him higher than my pick. That's obviously it's my pick.
Yeah,
so
obviously not.
I had
Obviously
my
not.
pick already. Who's winning this, and it's not obviously not going to be Daniel Bryan.
It's not
But-
Daniel Bryan for me either.
So Daniel Bryan moves on.
It's 2 against 1.
Rob,
I feel bad about it.
that's what I mean. That's
Bad
what I
about
Bad
mean.
about it.
But I still don't think if Kurt Angle moves on, he's not winning either.
Yeah, I don't see either guy winning. Those are my one of my picks.
Okay.
So Daniel Bryan moves on.
Again,
I wanna
what
make
are-
sure- I
what
wanna
are
make
you
sure it's
asking me?
Rob's
Daniel Bryan
decision.
can really wrestle.
That's what I mean.
Kurt Angle, he got lucky at the Olympics.
He got lucky at the Olympics. He got lucky at the.
He got
Are you kidding
lucky.
me? Wow.
lucky.
He got lucky.
Explain to me how he got lucky.
Because the
Angle-
guy felt bad that his neck was broken.
I
took
hope
it
you
a
don't
little
listen to
easy.
us.
Are you
but you
watch?
got
Did you
lucky.
watch the match?
Did you?
I did watch the match.
Did you?
I
That
did
guy
watch
felt
the
bad
match.
for him. And
Yo,
he slipped
Kurt
up.
Angle, he got lucky.
It was this. The guy was from freaking Iran. He's not gonna feel bad for an American with a broken neck. He's
This
gonna.
time he did.
He's gonna go right after it. So.
This time he did.
Oh
And he
yeah.
slipped
Okay.
up.
Because that's the story of Iran versus America. Iran feels bad for the Americans.
Yeah, the guy's like, hey.
It's written all over history.
This guy's like, hey.
You have a broken neck.
Mhm.
I'm gonna let you beat me, okay? All right.
Well, I didn't say it went down like that. I just said he felt bad for him. And at that
felt
moment he
bad.
slipped up.
And
He
then
slipped up.
I had no comment for that.
Well, no, it's the same thing as the CM Punk has no mic skills deal.
Well, both are true.
See,
Oh my god.
Both are
that-
true.
That's
Shut up.
that's where I would go. Basically,
So what's your-
that basically my view is if Kurt Angle was to wrestle Daniel Bryan, he would out wrestle Daniel Bryan. At the
Okay.
moment, no.
I don't know
would
if
say
he would
if they're
out-wrestle,
both
but he'd outpower him, certainly.
the power would attribute to the wrestling. If they both have equal
Really?
wrestling
Because
skill, if they
then you
both have,
You have Big Show, who's power, but
Okay,
not so
but-
technical.
that's what I mean though. Angle would out wrestle the Big Show in terms of a wrestling match.
But
But if Big Show was as good a wrestler as Kurt Angle, and he had the power, he would out wrestle him.
okay,
My
but-
view is if Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan were in their primes, let's say Daniel Bryan also has the ability to win an Olympic gold medal.
See, that's
Okay.
such a terrible fallback because you can't argue the gold medal.
Right, but that's why. Let's be honest though. That's why they looked at Kurt Angle. That's why they brought him in.
Remember, at first he was in ECW.
He just had. He also
Angle
just
was
happened-
shopping around.
Yeah,
he was shopping around.
He went to
The only
ECW
reason why
first.
the only reason why he went to ECW, well, why he did not sign with them was because of that crucifix angle, and he's like, "Oh, this is so effed up" that he left.
Right, I know.
You know, he said, "Give me my paycheck."
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
by the way.
I am
That's
aware
not.
of
It's
wrestling.
like what you guys did think I didn't know this.
No,
I know
but
what happened.
I'm just
Well,
saying,
no, we're just
depending on how
saying
you
for
look
people
at
who
it.
don't know it, you know.
Depending on how you look at it, he was looking to get into professional wrestling more than professional wrestling was looking to get him.
But I think that
if
he
you're
was.
if you're even thinking maybe I'll go to ECW, then WWE or F at the time hasn't contacted you yet.
Okay. Wasn't ECW in Pittsburgh at that time though?
Yeah, but it still wasn't
It's
on
right
the
there.
level of WWF at all.
Exactly, but Kurt Angle had made it a point to saying that, you know what, at first the way he looked at professional wrestling was, you know, this is just acting, what I do
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah,
At that point, I figured he decided to look into wrestling. ECW happened to be in Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania, wherever it was. He looked into it. You know, why not? And they're not going to put him down because he is an Olympic gold medalist, and any company that has an Olympic gold medalist looking to enter their company isn't going to just throw him out.
mm-hmm.
You know? Angle just happened to have great mic skills along with it.
Yeah.
And he fit into the Attitude Era better than I thought he would. You know, looking back into the Attitude Era, I'm surprised that that type of character fit in so well. But it makes sense because he was so different from the character of Triple H.
Alright,
Rock.
I'm switching
So
to Triple H. I mean,
Triple H? Triple H, wow.
Because the last thing he said was Triple H, so. Alright,
So Triple H moves on.
Absolutely.
Triple H moves on.
Yeah.
Wait, was he even on this bracket?
He was.
He lost to Kofi.
Well, yeah. I would still pick
Kurt
Kofi.
Angle. He's done enough. Kurt Angle.
But no, not because of his mic skills.
It was really up in the air to me.
Not because of his mic skills or anything. That's not what I'm trying to do.
No, yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, basically head to head in their primes, I still think Daniel Bryan still could get better.
What's funny though is Kurt Angle in his prime is still Kurt Angle after he broke his neck.
Yeah. That's what's insane about it.
Yeah.
The fact that he had his best was still not 100%.
And Daniel Bryan did win the World Heavyweight Championship.
The one gripe that I do have against Kurt Angle, and this could be even unfair also because of, in terms of healing, is the steroid factor.
Kurt Angle, and he never lets himself heal. He never lets
No,
himself
but at this point I'm saying steroids, at this point, there are some cases where they're prescribed to you so you can heal.
Yeah. Hurricane.
Yeah, exactly. But I still believe that even before the steroids, he was on par to being the best the company had.
Yeah.
But
Hurricane, for people that don't know, got suspended at least. If I don't know if fired because of steroids. However, it was because he broke his neck.
Yes.
yeah.
He got, I believe, suspended while being injured.
That's awesome.
Because his neck was broken.
Basically, another reason I would pick Kurt Angle over Bryan is the same reason I would pick Regal over Cesaro. Because of the vet status, because of
No, I understand that.
because of what they've done in their career, how good they've always been, very consistent, and just like Daniel Bryan, Cesaro has a great future ahead of him
Well.
if he is used the right way.
Of course.
But at this point, I can also ask the same thing: is Daniel Bryan being used the right way?
Well, I think once he drops the titles against the Shield, I think the people are gonna get what they want. It's gonna be Ziggler versus Bryan.
Will we get what we want? I don't know. The way he was thrown out of the title picture was pretty sad. Loses to Sheamus in 18 seconds. Totally loses that feud. Moves on to CM Punk. He gets swept. And he was basically out of both title pictures right after one.
Well, like I said, this is where who deserves the next shot.
Don't get me wrong. I do believe Daniel Bryan, Ziggler's got the title now.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Have Daniel Bryan and Kane drop the titles.
They're gonna drop them to the Shield.
Let Daniel Bryan go back to singles competitor, and you can have a match between Ziggler and Bryan, which we already saw a bit of it. It was great for what it was. I would like to see it headline a pay-per-view, which won't happen seeing as Cena's still around.
I know it's not gonna headline, but
It could be a main event.
I like to see the feud go into like SummerSlam. Make it like a real intense feud,
Right.
and make you want like a what's the word, something great to happen to like the superstar, like his moment. Make the moment for Bryan win the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Do you want that, or do you want to have Dolph hold the title for a really long time?
It'd be a good run for him, I think.
It could be a good run. At the moment, like I said, he basically has two managers coming out with him. There's no reason his title reign should be short. Absolutely not. Unless you have that match where they're barred from ringside or something.
That's sad, though.
Yeah.
He should still win.
He should still win, don't get me wrong.
No, but they've done that before.
Yeah.
They've done that before.
I just don't want to see it be like a Christian type title reign.
Well, he's already held it longer.
Where he can't win it on his own, somebody calls him out on it, and he still can't win on his own.
So, final...
But you know what? You could let Daniel Bryan move on, though. Even though you decided to defect to Kurt Angle, I would still like to see where this bracket goes if Daniel Bryan moves on. So I would say...
Like I said, I don't see Daniel Bryan winning it anyway.
Well, let's just see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. So... Yeah,
you want to pick Kurt? That's fine.
I don't know, there's the whole argument where, like with Lance Storm, until WWE, Bryan was wrestling the same guys over and over again. Same thing with Punk, too, a little bit. Earlier on, he wrestled the same guys. And with Kurt Angle being in during the Attitude Era, he was main evented and wrestled the same guys over and over again.
Mhm.
So I mean,
There's
still great matches.
I would like to see Daniel Bryan in an Iron Man match at some point.
And
Of course.
Daniel Bryan, even when he got to WWE, his great matches were against guys he had already wrestled.
So is Kurt
It's Kurt Angle.
Angle? Now we're not gonna get to that. I'm gonna save this one for last. Brett versus Eddie Guerrero. I gotta go with Brett.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Brett
Brett.
also.
Right.
Brett moves on to the final four. Chris Benoit versus William Regal.
Wait, is this the final four or is?
No, it's,
it's
getting
going
close.
into the final four.
Okay.
Chris Benoit versus William Regal. Yeah, I think William Regal.
Chris Benoit.
Regal.
I love what
Regal will would have out wrestled Benoit on any day. Not saying he would have won matches, but he would out wrestle him any day.
Now, have you seen Regal's old matches?
He's basically had the same kind of matches forever.
Okay.
I mean, when he was younger, he was a little bit more tough, but he's always wrestled.
Yeah.
That's upsetting because my pick to win this whole thing was Chris Benoit.
Oh, is that who your pick was?
Yeah.
That was not my pick.
Is your pick still in it?
Yes.
Y2J versus CM Punk.
Oh boy. I would have to go with Chris Jericho.
Jericho.
Gotta go with Jericho.
The original best in the world.
Yeah.
He's had such a long career facing
Final
so many different
four.
guys and wrestling them.
I think out of the most ones that
This is 4 now?
yes, it's final four.
It's
Okay.
4 now.
It's 4
That's
now.
cool. Oh, you should have waited until that's 2.
I know.
We're gonna finish this today.
Why not?
All right, let's do
Might
this.
as well keep going, yeah.
Kurt Angle versus Y2J.
Okay, so this was what I was afraid of. This is the one guy I thought could eliminate Kurt Angle.
I don't know if my bias can be held back. On
It's
this
tough.
one.
So wait, let's pick our picks for it. Kurt Angle, you're
Why'd
picking
you-
Chris Jericho, right?
I'm picking.
This is your pick, yeah, all right.
Y2J.
Well, this wasn't my pick. He's still in here.
He's Chris Jericho's not your pick?
Jericho was not my pick.
Oh,
So
man.
He might be
Y2J
my
moves
second.
Okay, so Y2J moves on then. I still...
on. Just because.
Jericho's wrestled
Yeah.
everybody, even if you don't know who they are.
Exactly.
He's wrestled everybody.
That's why I'm not even...
Everywhere.
That's not even... I just feel like this is a type of... This is one of those matchups where it's just preference.
I guess.
Both guys have done everything.
I know.
Jericho's
guys-
I know.
wrestled all over the world,
Both
trained with
exactly,
everybody.
exactly. And that's why I'm saying this is the one guy I believe would eliminate Kurt Angle from the competition.
And even if you want to look at, from past to present, Jericho's style has changed significantly.
Oh,
The
yeah.
last time he came back,
He's evolved
before
since
that,
since
Angle's
his prime.
been the same.
Yeah, and that's
Angle's
why his
limited-
matches
been
have
more
been
limited,
more
too.
Yeah. It could be attributed to wear and tear, injury,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah. Could be
Chris
because
Jericho.
he's the main event now, and he's been main event forever.
Yeah.
That you just see those moves, and that's what you want. The fans want to see, and that's what you give them.
Yeah, and Chris Jericho has shown that he is one of the safest guys to work with. ever.
Jericho's dropped moves for his
He's-
last gimmick, brought them back for this gimmick.
Yeah, and then another thing you could look to is look at his durability.
Yeah.
Has
Jericho's
he ever
never been injured.
Has he ever had that? It's amazing.
As
I don't
far
know how he's
as
done it.
I've known, he's never injured anybody or been injured.
Yeah, yeah. So I would have
Granted,
to.
Angle got injured before he was a pro wrestler, but even got injured after that.
Right. But yeah, this is the one pick where I can see it. I get it. So
Jericho, however, I do
moves
want to
on.
maintain was not my pick to win this.
Jericho's not your pick to win it.
Was not
Bret Hart versus William Regal.
Regal.
Bret Hart.
Damn it.
Bret Hart's just got the dungeon. You can't really say, throughout his career, what could have been. His career wasn't that long.
Unfortunately, yeah.
It wasn't that long. I don't know how much better he could have, or how much farther he would have went. And granted, Regal hasn't gone very far. He's been European champion, Intercontinental champion, King of the Ring.
Right.
But Bret's been King of the Ring, right?
Yeah, but he's had
Was
had
that when
some,
he got attacked? I think he
he's
got
had some
attacked.
standout matches though.
He has, but
I would have to go with Bret Hart
Regal
also.
would out wrestle Bret Hart any day of the week.
Do we know that?
Do we know that?
I think he can outbrawl.
Outbrawl him.
Bret Hart.
Well, that's
But
if you're
technician-
talking him being stiff.
I don't
think
mean- I don't-
Bret.
I don't
think
mean
Bret could
necessarily
be
stiff.
stiff too.
I don't necessarily mean stiff.
I think stiff. Regal would outshine him. Would outshine Bret on that front too. But he got fired from WCW for out wrestling Goldberg. Which doesn't say much because Goldberg sucks and everything.
Yes, he does.
But
He does.
Regal out-wrestled anybody. He
He
just decided to do it against Goldberg.
But I still would. I would give it to Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
Because at the one thing that I thought was funny about Bret Hart is everybody rags on his mic skills.
Oh, that's not even.
Everybody I know that. But one of the things that I feel is his wrestling was so good that it
Didn't matter.
almost
Didn't
made
matter.
you forget about the
Yep.
mic skills. And even though I'm one of those people who think his mic skills weren't that bad, it's just he was meant to be a real person. He wasn't meant to be
He was meant to be
He
himself.
wasn't meant to be like The Rock, like over the top stuff that plagued the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era was all about over the top stuff. Kurt Angle wasn't that character, which is why people underrate his mic skills. I just feel like he's a legend because, despite the fact that maybe some people consider his mic skills bad, his wrestling was so good that it offset that. Would he wrestle? I really don't even. I can't speak to that. I mean, I really don't know. It's a tough matchup. It really is.
It is.
I think that Regal would out-wrestle him. He's trained everywhere. Again, he's one of those guys that trained everywhere. Bret Hart only trained in the dungeon.
Okay.
All those guys kind of have
understand.
the same style. Whereas Regal could be versatile.
Alright.
That was my pick, and you guys destroyed him. Thanks a lot.
Destroyed your pick.
Sorry.
That's why I fought so hard. If you didn't know this for Regal,
I didn't know it.
So we're down
Regal was my
to
pick. 'Cause it's
we're down to the final. It is a 1 seed versus a 1 seed. Y2J versus Bret Hart.
Okay, now they're both in the dungeon.
yeah.
They're both in that, but I feel like you would pick Chris Jericho
Mine's Jericho.
because of the wrestling around the world factor.
Yeah. He
I'm
knows so many
going with
different
Y2J
styles.
as well.
Yes.
Well, Chris Jericho wins the bracket.
Yeah,
just
you
like at the Royal Rumble a couple years ago. He was one of my picks. He wasn't my first pick, but hey.
Interesting. I actually didn't see Jericho winning this whole thing, but now that I look back on it, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I thought he could be the one guy to take Kurt Angle out, I should have seen.
It's good
that
because
coming.
you see all these preferences for different guys, but when it comes down to the final guys, these are the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Well, I am upset that I think Benoit would have took a run at Brett in the way.
Brett would have won that.
Really?
Yeah, I actually believe so as well. I think he would have.
Interesting. So Y2J.
Not to say I don't like Benoit. I think you know that I
Oh,
Well,
know.
maybe I got to think about that harder actually. But it doesn't matter. Chris Jericho won the bracket.
Yeah.
Because Jericho
Still
wins
good.
the
It would have been
wrestling.
real interesting. Regal against.
But even
Jericho.
the Chris Jericho character, it's
To me.
funny how the WWE almost tries to recreate that character so many times
Yeah.
and fails because the person just can't do it.
Nope.
You know.
I mean, yep.
So yeah, that pretty much is gonna do it for today. I think.
Yeah.
Not much news.
I think Jericho would have beaten Regal if I had my two picks.
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Just quick thing about Scott Hall. He's recovering. Yay.
Still okay.
Yeah,
This is how we decided to end after the
Post
bracket.
surgery, quick update. And by the way, I think didn't we say Fandango's up to the UK charts in 13?
We did say
I
something.
thought it was 14.
Now it's 13.
Last time I checked, I think he was 3 on iTunes.
Wow.
Well, I think it resets.
It'll drop.
Each
Won't
day
matter.
it resets. He was back to 50 today, so they're gonna try and bring him back up.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
I think that's
So
how it
It'll drop.
we
Don't worry
ended
about
with
that.
a power bomb. How are we gonna end this show?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't matter.
Yes,
I don't
it
think
does.
That was just something to end the show because we, for some reason, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Wait, did you guys end it yesterday with Powerbomb?
No, we didn't.
The last show that I was on ended with Powerbomb.
No.
It doesn't need to be anything.
So Rob won't be here tomorrow. We'll cover TNA and stuff like that. So
Or at least Anthony will.
Anthony will. I'll watch it
No,
tomorrow.
you won't.
Shut up. Yeah, that's gonna do it. I'm John.
This is Ant.
The Road Dog!